So I think Eddie Bravo, with the mindset that he has had, his evolution, because he does multiple things, besides the creation of 10th Planet, which is very innovative. He has his improvs. He has his EBI, was the first one to do the EBI, a competitive no-gi grappling event with rules that were fantastic. You know what I'm saying? It rivaled ADCC right off the bat when ADCC was the big boss in town. And it didn't stop there. Combat Jiu-Jitsu. I mean, they came from the same guy. Whatever idea he's got, because people are contesting, sport jiu-jitsu and reality jiu-jitsu. What did he do? He put both together in a tournament. I can't believe it, man. So a lot of times people take for granted things that are happening now, not looking back, excuse me, to see that was one point in time, one person that put something together that changed forever from then on.
Yeah, Eddie has a way of seeing those opportunities and those moments 5 or 10 years before somebody else can.
Don't you say he's a visionary?
Oh, I absolutely think that. Yeah.
He sees so far ahead that sometimes it takes, for some people, a bit of time to catch up.
Yeah, even after they see it, they still don't see it sometimes. It's like any other we'll just use the term technology. You have your early adopters, you have your creators, and then your early adopters, and then you got people who get on board a few years later, and then you got some people who are really, really slow to adapt to new technology, and then you got some people who just refuse and never will just because it's new. And so, jiu-jitsu community is no different. They fall along those lines somewhere. Innovators, early adopters, the mass of people through the middle, late adopters, and nevers.
Well, I can tell you this, since you're talking about tournaments, some aspects of it that I took away with EBI, the way that the rules format was with the tiebreakers. Okay, nobody won. It's not going to be preferential. We're going to do this, wherever way you start and get the timer, and go from there. The other was, it did help with the resetting of the position, so there's no stalling or less chance for stalling, which has been a prevalent problem, unfortunately, in a lot of jiu-jitsu tournaments, because they can work the format to whatever benefit they feel, and if that means not fighting until it's worth fighting, when the spectator wants to see a good match from beginning to end.
Yeah, I think most jiu-jitsu tournaments traditionally have been set up in such a way that the rules lend themselves to doing less to secure a victory.
Yeah.
It seems like the guy who does less, who takes less risk, has the better opportunity. And that makes good jiu-jitsu. That can make good jiu-jitsu.
But boring tournaments.
But it makes boring to watch.
Yeah, who's going to go and watch on a mainstream network or stream platform a match that drags forever and nothing happens and you fight for advantages?
And every sport, every mainstream sport recognizes this and sets rules up to mitigate it. Basketball puts in the 24-second shot clock. College football puts in a play clock. Well, if you want to play in the pros in the NFL, the play clock's even shorter. That the action has to go constantly. And if again, in the NFL, if there's a rule change, it's a rule change that favors the offense, not the defense. They want more scoring on the board. They want more action, more excitement, because that's what the fans want to see. And as I saw that jiu-jitsu tournaments, as they were trying to find this perfect rule set, I don't think that they were thinking about, in general, what does a quote unquote real sport do? Yeah. How do they, from what first principles do they operate? Yep. And so, like, while we were building the PGF and while Eddie was building EBI,
can I say one thing about EBI that changed jiu-jitsu dramatically? A lot of people could get away with mediocre jiu-jitsu, not just because of the stalling, but if they had just one aspect, guard pull. They had a very good guard, so they pull guard and kept the guy there for most of the time and maybe tried to work their way into an advantage or a point advantage. But if, God forbid, they were in another situation that they had to play defensively, if somebody took their back or got into a submission situation, they were not as prone to be successful because they focused so much. And I've seen that as an instructor. Guys were actually world champions, had the most incredible guard, but that's the only thing that was emphasized in their game. And if they lost the guard, they couldn't escape from the bottom. They were stuck. They would act like a white belt, you know what I'm saying, in certain positions. And the EBI, and I remember people saying that the fact that you have a tiebreaker, that people starting on your back or start with an armbar or something like that, you already predisposed the competitors to train starting from bad positions, which is a premise in jiu-jitsu. So I know for a fact that he revolutionized the way people trained jiu-jitsu at that time when that rule was first instituted.
And it forced you to become good at probably the two most important techniques in jiu-jitsu, a rear naked choke and an arm lock.
Yep.
Like, you have to master these or you're not going to be able to win overtime. Yep. You have to master them offensively and you have to master them defensively. Yep. And if, exactly to your point, if you're not spending time in training, putting yourself in terrible positions, then you're going to struggle with that rule set.